Welcome to day 2 of the Refine series. Today we're focusing on the back and the biceps. You'll need a chair, a TheraBand, and a set of dumbbells. Come join me. Welcome to Fitness Integrated Science TV. I'm Lauren Irk, and today is day 2 of the Refine program. We're focusing today on the back as well as the biceps. Now, if you did day 1, your legs may feel a little bit fatigued. We did some complementary body parts, working on quads and hamstrings. We did a number of exercises, and you're going to see some of the same today. I have several exercises that we're going to start with that focus on the back. Now, realize that any type of a back exercise that we're working on, we're also going to be using our biceps. And when you think about finishing this series or this workout today with bicep exercises, what you're going to notice is that your biceps are going to feel a little bit tired from the pulling motions. That's another aspect of refining our ability to resistance train. You're going to feel as though you're doing a lot of repetitions for a specific body part, a number of sets. And this is actually, like I said on day 1, the way that bodybuilders learn to train, although we're not trying to train for a competition, or I don't know, maybe you are, but hopefully you will feel really good and energized by the end of this practice. I'm going to be using a chair today as well as a TheraBand. This is something new I'm going to be using today. I feel like when you're doing back exercises, TheraBands are necessary. And then also we're going to be using dumbbells. I have a light set as well as a heavy set because typically back and biceps are going to be different strengths, but I'm going to leave that up to you. Let's get started. I want you to begin by coming down to your hands and knees. Now, I'm going to leave this chair here. I know it may be a little distracting, but you'll see why in a second. I want you to spread your fingers wide apart, stacking your shoulders directly over your wrists. As you exhale, I want you to round your back and tuck your pelvis under, looking right up at your navel. As you inhale, lower your waist, tilt your pelvis a little bit, lower your waist, and look forward. Let's do that again, rounding into the back, and then moving up into the center. Last one, rounding into the back to tighten. Inhale, lifting up, and now let's walk our hands to our hips. Press your hips into the pelvis area. Then I want you to lean the upper body back, coming into a little bit of a backward bend. Good. Exhale, release, take your hands to the floor. Let's move into an inverted V just to give the knees a break. And release it. Now let's take one arm and sweep it through, coming into a thread the needle. And then we change and do it again on the other side. All right, let's repeat that one more time. Walk the hands to the knees, squeeze the glutes, lean the upper body back. So you're raising into the sternum. Exhale, release. Take your hands to the ground, tuck your toes under, inverted V, downward dog. Work on squeezing around your knee joints. Exhale and release. Now take one arm, feeding it through to the opposite side, threading the needle. Come back in and then do the same thing on the left, reaching it through. And releasing it. All right. Now what you're going to notice here is that I've kind of set up a little contraption. If you have some sort of an object at home that you can attach this band to, that's even better. But what I did is I put some heavy dumbbells on this chair so that it wouldn't move, and then I'm just going to feed this band through my chair. So if you just get a simple folding chair, you'll find that there's so much you can do with folding chairs. I think that's why so many yoga studios use them. So I'm putting it here so that it's kind of a little bit above me so that when I raise my arm up, I'm about level to the attachment. That's very important. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm just going to walk my hand up to where I'm sort of tethered up on the band. Now right away, my shoulder is in full flexion. It's reaching up over the head. I'm in the upward rotation position. From there, I'm just going to pull outward on the band. Look how I'm drawing my shoulder blade down into my back, and then I'm squeezing my elbow into my side rib. Then when I release that, I'm going to move that right back up to the center. So let's try that again. As we're pulling it down, we're squeezing into the side rib. And you may feel as though you're moving into a little bit of side bend with your torso. That's really, really normal. So again, we're squeezing it down and then bringing it back up. Now, back exercises, wow. These are so important to do. They're working so many joints at one time. If you think about the spine first and foremost, then we have our shoulder and elbow. And then sometimes these muscles, they attach all the way down into the hip, so you'll feel it down there as well. Good, squeezing it down and in and back through. Try to stay as steady and as still as possible. Squeezing it down and bringing it in. Squeezing it outward and pulling it in. So let's go for 4 more, bringing it out. And I'm really focused on driving my shoulder blade down out of my neck. 2 more times, squeezing it in and down. And then on my last one, here I am holding that there. And then release that all the way out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take that band now, and I want to move it right into the other side. And the nice thing, if you have 2 bands, you could put 1 on each side. But since I don't have that, I'm just going to attach it on the other side. Make sure the 2 ends are about equal. And then I'm going to go about the same place. Okay, tethering up. I like to do these back to back because then I can really compare how I'm moving from one side to the other. So again, I'm starting with that elevated shoulder. I'm going to pull outward and down, squeezing into my lat here, and then bringing that over the head. I'm doing this in place of things like pullovers and things like that, just because it's so much easier on your shoulder. But I want you to feel every time that you pull this band down, you are dropping your shoulder out of your neck, pulling it outward and down, and back in, out and down, back in, squeezing. I'm almost feeling like my whole body is getting pulled towards that chair, squeezing it out and down, and back in. I'm doubling up my band because I definitely want to use more resistance when I'm doing back work. Let's go for 3. Pull out and down. Give yourself that time to feel the end range of this exercise. Last 2. Dropping that shoulder out of the neck, and 1 more. All right, this is really, really good for your spine. It's great for your shoulder. And release it. So let's go back into that downward dog, or if you have a better way, do that. And then I want you to walk your feet and hands together, however you see fit, and come all the way up into standing. Now from there, I'm going to grab one of these heavy weights, and I'm going to go right into my bent over row. The nice thing about having the access to the chair is it's already there. So I'm just going to bend forward so that my spine is fairly symmetrical with the ground. Drawing that shoulder into the back. Let's start off. I'm just going to go into my rowing motion and down. Now here's what I want you to do. Notice what I'm doing. I am keeping my shoulder on my back the whole time. And the muscles that do that are actually in your back, right? These are training your lats. Squeezing back and bringing it in. Squeeze back, hold, and bring it in. Squeeze back and hold, and bring it back in. So obviously I could do this. I could let it drop every time and pull into it. That would actually kind of cause me to work some muscles that attach into my scapula a little bit more. But since I'm going to try to maintain the position of my shoulder, I'm going to keep my lats engaged the whole time. Squeezing back and bringing it down. Make sure your weight is right underneath that elbow. And you should be feeling some fatigue setting in, right? Because we are working really hard back to back. 1 more. And release that back out. Now you notice I hit the heavier dumbbell of the 2. You don't have to. You could go over it with something lighter. It's not a problem. We can ease our way into it because we are going to be doing another set. So again, I want to position myself down so that my spine is level to the ground. So it's really nice to have a chair there so that you don't have to put so much pressure on your lower back. So now let's just bring that shoulder blade up. So the first thing I'm doing then is I'm bringing that shoulder blade into my back, and then it's going to stay there, okay? Then from there, tightening those abdominal muscles, let's pull up and out and back down. Squeeze up and back, a hold, and back down. Squeeze, nice and tight. Now the thing about refining your technique, we're focusing on the motion of this arm, 100%. But what about everything else? Can you hold your body steady? Keep your spine from rotating. Keep the pressure even across your feet. Nice work. Pulling it in and lowering down. Pull it in, squeeze, and lower it down. Nice and tight. Keep driving that shoulder blade into the back. 4 more to go. Here's 4 and 3. 2 more times. Good. Now we want to take a little bit of a rest here. It's really important that we pepper those rests in between. Now you're probably noticing after doing those 2 exercises, you're probably noticing that lower back. We've been putting direct load in your lower back, which is good, but it takes time for that stuff to get better. So if you need to, let's place your hands on your legs, tighten your abs, and round your back for a second. Really engage your abdominal muscles here. Then extend your spine out, come all the way up, place your hands on your hips, lean the upper body back, which feels so good. And release it. And you know if you're doing this more than once, when you start getting stronger, your back will actually get stronger with you. But right now, it's really working hard to support us. So let's come on down for our second set. So as we go down to the floor, let's bring our hands back down. And I'm just going to start where we left off. It's kind of nice to start on a different lead arm anyway. Walk yourself back on your mat so that you have that shoulder right up over your head. And we pull outward and down. Back in, pull. Make that wide arc of motion. Feel as though your arm is actually moving in a circle right now. Shoulders up and bring it down. I think out of all the exercises that I've ever done for the back, I would say hands down that I really enjoy doing the rowing exercise more than any other ones. I feel like this is the one that gives you the most size on your back. And I know that a lot of us on this app are not really looking to, try to look good in clothes. I mean, it's a nice little after effect. The biggest thing is we're trying to just optimize our function. We're optimizing our joint health, keeping our brain health going. When your muscles are stronger, your brain definitely benefits from that. They have linked a lot of the age-related disorders like Alzheimer's and dementia right into loss of muscle. So think about what you're doing for your body right now when you're lifting weights. You're making sure that the aging process is going to be an easy, secure one for you. All right, so let's go all the way down now. Bring that elbow into your side, hold it. Let's release just a little and pull down. Release a little, pull down. Release a little, pull down. One more, squeeze it, and release it in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that off now, if I can, and we're gonna feed it right into the other side. Again, I highly recommend just grabbing a simple folding chair because they're so versatile when you're working out, and they're cheap, 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 cheap. I'm all about that. Okay, so grabbing that again, I'm just gonna take my little streamers here so they don't hit the floor. So I know what that's gonna sound like on camera. Okay, so again, my shoulder is in a position that feels comfortable for me. I'm not jamming my shoulder to start with. Abs are tight. From here, I'm pulling big, wide arc, trying to bring my elbow into my side rib and then bringing it back through. Big, wide arc, down and back in. And you're going to feel this all down here through the side of your waist. If you're not feeling that, notice where your scapula is moving. If you notice, your shoulder blade should roll up and then it should pull down. Every single repetition, that shoulder blade should be dropping out of your neck. Squeezing down and in. Great job. Squeeze down and in. Nice work. Pulling it back for 5. Nice. Let's do one more time. Give it all you've got. Really squeeze that elbow in and release it out just a little. Pull down. Pull down. 2 more. I am feeling that big time. I don't know about you guys. And we release it. All right. So let's go ahead and stand back up. I'm going to take this off. Okay, we have our second set of rows. So I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and flip this guy around, which is going to feel really nice. Okay. All right, so how are we feeling? Hopefully your back is definitely, they call it lit up right now, okay? So let's go with, if you're getting a little tired, go down in your weight. Otherwise, try to stick with what we were doing. So keeping your abs tight, flat back, let's come over, place that hand right in the chair, and we begin by drawing that shoulder blade into the back. So we're gonna hold it there, squeeze it in and bring it down. Couple of things, if I keep my hand under my elbow, it's gonna be way more effective towards building the shoulder. If I do this and let the weight travel towards the shoulder, I have diluted a little bit of that into my bicep. Squeezing it back in and back through. Squeezing it in, back through. Squeeze in, back through. Lot of repetitions. Lot of repetitions. So let's hold for 5, 6. Good. Every so often, check yourself. Is that shoulder staying on your back? Now let's just stay here. Hold it for 5, 6, 7, 8, and come down. All right. So as we change sides now, and I can move this now, as we change sides, I want you to notice how the rest of your body feels. How does your core feel? How does your back feel, right, as we're moving into this? Maybe in the second set, it's actually starting to warm up and feel a little bit better. So let's again tighten the abdominal muscles. Hands go to the chair. Flat back, first thing we do is we set the scapula. Inhale, breath, drawing it back in, and then lower it down. Watch that weight traveling, right? It's directly below the line of the elbow. Take your time. Here's 5. Try to keep your back from rounding. So one thing that a lot of times people do is this kind of a motion, right? As they start to go through it, or they go through and they row without ever moving the shoulder, right? You're catching yourself, do either one of those. Catch yourself, right? Try to stay in really good alignment. This is where the refinement of resistance training really does take place. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. Now on this last one, let's just give a little isometric hold. Shoulders on the back for 5, 6, 7, 8, and come down. All right. I want you to set that down for now and take a little bit of a break. Roll your shoulders around just a tiny bit and just feel that releasing across your back. Okay. Hopefully you felt that. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move into, I'm working my way back down. I'm not going to use the chair this time. So that means my back is going to have to work a little bit harder to perform these exercises. So I'm going to start off in standing, or if you want, you could sit down on the chair. I'll show you both ways. So as we inhale breath, come to here. See if you can now squat down and get your back down there to where now your body is even with the floor. So the rowing motion would look something like this, and then back in. Now if this is too difficult, what you can do is you can come to the edge of your chair and lean into your legs so that you're here. So you guys pick whichever one feels the best for you. Now one thing that you have to concentrate on is if you're going to do it this way, this is not the way you do it, right? You have to stay down there. And for some people, that is not going to feel good on their lower back. Good. Squeezing it back in and lower. Back in and lower. 2 more times. And last 2. Last 1. And sit those weights down. All right. Reach those arms in front, rounding into your back. Let's just tighten up into those abdominal muscles. And come up. Lift yourself up nice and tall. Okay, now we move into a supinated bicep curl. So as you come back up now, I want you to turn your palms forward. Your biceps, believe it or not, have been working a lot, okay? So let's work on flexing into the elbows, drawing those weights up, and then slowly we move them back down towards the ground, squeezing it in. Now it's really hard when you're strength training to try to do things continuously. It is. And that's why a lot of people, when they exercise, They might spend, you know, a whole hour in the gym, but in actual time that they've been working, it's very, very little. I think that's why a lot of people would graduate towards maybe a group fitness class or working with a trainer to keep them, you know, honest with how they're moving things. And that's where you've got me, right? If you follow along with this video, I'm actually watching the timer for you, I'm counting the reps for you, and I'm cueing it for you, and I'm doing it with you. So it's all about winning, winning. Squeezing back in. Now watch that you're not rocking, right? As you get tired, this kind of thing happens where you're throwing the weight up there. Try to stay nice and steady. Now I want you to alternate in the last few for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Finally, release that back down. Okay, so let's go ahead and sit those on the ground. Roll your shoulders, and we're actually going to switch our tools a little bit. Still the same exercise, but the second set, we want to do a different tool. So I'm going to go back into my band, my resistance band. This can be done in the chair or standing. It's completely up to you. I want you to double it up. Trust me on this. You're going to need to double this up. So right away, I'm going to fold this guy in half, and then I'm going to step right in the middle of it with 2 feet. So that's not going to leave me with much band, and I want that. So make sure your band is symmetrical on both sides. And when you pull up, it's going to feel like, whoa, that's a lot of work. Not to worry, we're getting ready to go down there. So let's pull the chest open, and now we are down at that position. I'm going to walk my hands down a little further. Ready? Here we go. Let's squeeze in and back. In and back, hold. Keep your upper back nice and steady. Squeeze in. Squeeze in. Keep it slow. Abs are strong. Back is nice and flat. Good. Shoulders on the back. Remember all the things that we talked about. All right, now let's just really slow this down for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then slowly releasing that back down towards the mat. Let's do that again for 4, 3, 2, really pinch and back down. Can you stay down there? Notice if you've come up a little bit. Stay down there. Good, and let's just try one more time. And back down. All right. So as we take that off now, let's go ahead and release the band and go back to our weights. Okay, if we go, it's kind of like a long set. If we go right from the rowing exercise into the bicep curl, yeah, we're not really allowing these to rest a whole lot. So let's go ahead and go right into it now. We're going to go back into the supinated grip. And I want you to start off with a hammer type or a neutral type position. So let's start by rotating and squeezing in across, and then we bring that back down. Again, squeeze in and up, hold, and then bring that right back down. When you're doing this exercise, watch that you're not swinging your elbow forward. Squeezing it in and bring it down. So this is my second bicep curl. Second exercise for the elbow flexors. Squeezing it in and bringing it down. Squeeze in slowly and bring it down. Nice. I want you to really focus on contracting your bicep. Don't even worry about where this weight is going. I'm not even concerned about that. What I want you to focus on is, can this weight help you squeeze your bicep? Put a lot of pressure on that muscle group here. Squeezing it in and lowering it, and then again squeezing it in and lowering it. Last 2. And 1 more. Beautiful, and come down. All right, so I want you to now come into your chair. Roll your shoulders around a little bit. We move into another set of biceps. Now this is where the refinement comes in, because when we start to do multiple sets in a row of the same muscle group, you're going to notice that fatigue start to set in. So I want you to shift your body weight all the way out to the front of your chair. From here, pick a weight that you can handle easily. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these 15s up and then leave your arms at your side. I want you to turn your thumbs forward. Begin by moving your weight to a 90-degree position. Then I want you to slowly bring it up as high as you can without allowing your elbows to shift forward. Go back into 90 and then take that down. Now, if you're unable to go slow, drop the weight a little bit. Let's do that again. You're going halfway up, going right past it, squeezing into my shoulder. Then I'm going back through my halfway mark and then releasing that back down. Squeezing it in, nice and easy, hammer curl, and then lowering that down. Good, hammer curl, squeezing that in. Then we lower that down. Now for the last few, let's alternate. We take it onto the right side and back down. Control how fast you raise the weight to your shoulder, and then control how fast you lower the weight to the ground. Squeezing it in and lower. Squeezing it in and lower. One more in each arm. Great job, and last one. And again. Lower the weight and release that. Okay, shake that out. Your back is still supporting you for all of this. Let's go back into our TheraBand now. So now when we have our TheraBand, we just come right up to sitting. We want to double that up again and place the band underneath, let's just say, the right foot. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my palm and pronate it. So that means my thumb is crossing over, and I'm here. I'm just going to hold on to my TheraBand. Now, it's not perfect as far as holding on to it. I know some people like to really wrap that band around. It's whatever feels comfortable for you. Then I want you to step that opposite foot forward, okay? Now, make sure when you're doing this that you don't have it too tight. Now, when you're bringing your shoulder slightly forward, we're getting a little bit of anterior deltoid. I want you to come into that pronated position, and then we bring it back down. I'm going to change it just a little bit. Pronated position, and back down. Squeezing it in, and back down. So you want to make sure that you have enough, and I can tell that that's a little bit too heavy for me. I'm going to finish this, so that's perfect. So now I feel like now with this much tension, I can handle it. Squeezing it in, bicep, and back down. So I'm leaving that elbow right where it is. If you have to, you can reach behind it and hold on to it. Squeezing it in, and back down. Squeeze in, hold, and back down. Let's hope for 5, and 6. Here's 7, and here's 8. Then we release it and come out of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change sides since we're already here, placing that band right underneath the other foot. And don't be surprised if you're kind of going down a little bit in your ability to do this exercise. So let's just start off here, and I'm just going to turn my palm straight down towards the floor. Step one foot out in front just to stagger the body. Then as you inhale, we're coming into that reverse crunch. Then we lower that right back down. Now, not everybody has full pronation. You can see for this arm, like I don't have as much pronation over here as I do on this side. And that can happen because of things like being on the computer or lots of repetitive tasks that we have during the day. So what I want you to do is I want you to feel this in your forearm. Okay, this is a definite part of your bicep. Not all of your biceps really control your palm position, but the bicep brachii, the brachioradialis, and the brachialis are 3 that we definitely want to train. Good. This would be the brachialis. Coming back in, attaching into the ulna, which makes it really not that much vulnerable to the hand position. Let's go for 3 and back down. Woo! 2. I am definitely feeling this. And you are going to feel some gripping with your fingers because you're having to hold this band steady. I kind of like that. I think that's a good thing. Let's do one more time. Squeeze it in nice and strong. And let that go. All right, so let's go ahead and have a seat in the chair again. We are almost done. So just kind of sweep your hands. I like to do this a little bit. And we're back in our last set. So keeping your abs tight, inhale breath. Let's come forward again. Take your dumbbells and we move into our neutral grip, which means forearm bones side by side, thumbs up, hammer curl, baby. Here we go, squeezing it in. And then we lower that right back down. Now just to refine it, let's just see how much we truly own this exercise. Come up to the top, squeeze your bicep. Take one arm down, then pull through. So this left arm never gets a break. Now, eccentrically lower with control and squeeze. It looks so much easier than it really is. It's very challenging. 4 more. Make sure you're not throwing the weight. Squeeze it in. 2 more. Squeeze in 1 more. All right, so now let's take both of the elbows into extension. Stay here for just a minute. Catch your breath. Concentrate on your bicep. Where is it? How does it feel? Now, neutral grip again. All the way up. All the way down from the bottom. This time we're giving the bicep a little bit of a break at the bottom of the action. Squeeze in and lower it down. Great. Squeeze in tight and bring it back down. Let's go 4 more like this. Good. 2 more times. Avoid swinging the elbow and shoulder. Last one. And we release that back down. Grab your band. This time I want you to step on it with 2 feet. I'm just going to face you. 2 feet. Then I'm going to go to a pronated position. So I'm palms down, arms to the sides, squeezing it in and down. Now this is going to be easier. We don't have the double thickness anymore. But you can see that we are getting tired. So this is that refinement that comes into the resistance training. Many people, just like anything in life, when things get hard, they stop. This is actually where a lot of the muscle growth can happen. So we're just going to take it to the nth degree, coming into that pronated position, squeezing it back in, and lower it down. So let's go for 5 and 6. Again, I'm not letting my arms swing. How are you feeling out there? 7, 1 more, and 8. Doesn't it seem like forever ago that we were working our back? All right, so let's take that down now. And I want to see how well, doesn't that feel good? That you can actually bring your arm over your head after doing all that great back work. Come into the scarecrow position. Bring your fingertips to the back of your head. Now lean the upper body back. Oh, that feels so good. Soften your knees. Come forward with the flat back. Keep those abs tight. Now reach your arms out to the sides. Interlace your fingers behind the back. Inhale. Then as you exhale, flex forward. Allow the arms, the shoulders to come into a fully extended position. Inhale, look up. Place your hands on your legs. Roll up through your back. Bring your shoulders into your back a couple of times. Inhale, breath. Blow it out, and you are done. Great job on day 2, working with the back and biceps, and I will look forward to seeing you on day 3. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. See you next time.